Yeah guys, welcome back, and today we're going to talk about how much you have to risk per trade. And I'm going to give you some suggestions, I'm going to give you some examples, and we're going to talk about that. So let's get into the charts. We talked about the risk management, and it's important to understand that every time you're risking some amount of money, it has to be the same. I'm telling you that because risk management is fucking important. So, so we can get back to the numbers. We got some examples here and here. We have the trade. You're risking 1%, you're making 2.5. Amazing. You're risking 5%, you're making 12.5% of your whole balance. So you have to understand that this is fucked up, yeah? Because people, for example, yeah, you're putting 10,000, yeah? And you make a trade like that and you make 12.5%. So this is what, 1250, something like that. You make that much amount of the profit, yeah, basically in the several hours. It's possible that if your whole balance, your whole pot is 10,000 bucks and you made 1200, it seems a little bit nonsense, you know, because for example, put that you have a million, yeah, you have a million, and in the several hours you make 12.5%. This is $125,000, and it's a little bit nonsense to risk that much when you have small capital. I know with the small capital, like if you're starting with 1,000 or you're gonna start with 10,000, it's not gonna feel much, but day after day, you're trading, you're making the trades, you starting to understand it, because by the end of the day, you made a decent profit. Yeah, we can make, for example, some calculations. There is that you're risking 1%. This is what I'm doing. I'm risking 1%, and after that we have, for example, rich quitters, gamblers, and everything, you know, and they're risking a lot of money just to make back or make more money when they don't have the balance. And shit can happen, that's for sure. So worst case scenario, yeah, I'm gonna try to show worst case scenario, yeah, you get into the losing streak. Losing streak, for example, you lost 5 trades in a row. If you have a good, decent risk management, after 5 losses, when you're risking 1%, you're gonna lose, yeah, 5%. So if you have $10,000, you're gonna have 9,500, yeah. If you're risking 5% and you're putting more and more and more, just to get back, and you're risking 5% for every trade, and you have 5 losing streaks. So the best case scenario, I'm telling you, the best case scenario, you're gonna lose, yeah, 25%. That's fucking huge. And this is the best case scenario. If you're gambling or you're putting more and more and more, the worst case, you're gonna get liquidated, because putting more and more and trying to get it back. And yeah, after the 5 trades, there is a big possibility that finally you're gonna have nothing. Yeah, you got liquidated, that's it. And that's where the risk management comes, because you have to understand that you have to stay in this game long enough to feel the profits, because maybe after that you're gonna get, I don't know, 70% of the win ratio, yeah. So you have a 70% win ratio of the trades, 70%, and you making trades like 1 to 2 risk reward, yeah. So from the 10 trades, yeah, you have 10 trades, you lost 3 and you won 7, yeah. So from those 3 losses, if you have the right risk management, you're losing 3%, yeah, because we lost 3 trades, yeah. And at the 7th we won, and for example we had a trade like this, yeah, 1 to 2 risk reward, something like that, yeah, 1 to 2 risk reward. So we have 7 wins, and with those 7 wins, if we're risking normally, we're getting the 40% of the profit, yeah, 40%. So we're subtracting those 3, and overall, from 70% trades like that, that's loss, that's win, we're gonna have what, 11% in the profit, yeah, just in the profit. So now shit can happen, and good shit can happen. So yeah, you managed to lose 5%, but after that you managed to make 11%. So after that, for example, the month ended, yeah, And if we had 5 losing streaks, and then we had something like that, by the end of the month, what do we have? We have 6% in the profit, yeah? Because I'm telling you, there's gonna be win streaks, there's gonna be losing streaks, and there's gonna be in between where you're going back and forth. But if you have a good risk management, by the end of the month, you're gonna be in the profit. And where you're putting the profit, it doesn't matter. So now, example B, yeah? He lost 25%, and let's think that he knows what he's doing. Every time he's risking 5%, and we have the similar situation. He's gonna be in the tons of profit, but that's on rare occasions. Plus, when you're losing that much amount of money, you're starting to stressing out, you're starting to close your profits early, and shit starting to happen. Or you got liquidated, as I told you here, and you have zero balance, so you never took those of the trades, and basically by the end of the month we have nothing. So yeah, guys, I showed you some examples. I tried to explain for you why risk management is important and the numbers in between, because yeah, liquidation is hurtful, you're gonna feel that, bet you're not, but yeah, if you're gonna start gambling on every trade, you're gonna get there. So don't do that. And thanks so much for watching, and see you in the next episode.